Hi, everybody. That was quick.
How you doing, Becky?
Okay,
Good.
hanging in there.
That's good.
It was a beautiful day, huh?
A gorgeous day.
Actually, we were out on the lake today waiting for the sun, and as we left the lake, the sun came. So
I guess it
my
wasn't that beautiful
yeah,
all
it's
day.
still yes. It's all eagles, It's a beautiful, and there's nobody on the lake right now. It's
Mm,
so peaceful.
hmm.
That must be unusual for the
Yeah,
last week of August.
I
But I
know.
guess kids are in school. Has it been
I
quieter, Kathy, on the lake this
It's
week?
yeah, a little quieter than usual. I'm not complaining.
no.
Oh, Peg, we can't hear you.
There.
What?
What's George doing here?
Oh, he's just being an interloper.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you joining us just because you just can't pass up every third Thursday?
It's
It's
like a moth to the flame. Well, I thought it would be helpful for me to be here for the discussion about appointing somebody to Becky's review contract negotiation.
well,
Mostly, I wanted to speak to that, but I don't mind. I'll sit through the whole thing. I mean,
no, no, no,
I'll turn off my microphone and
no. Happy to
I
have you.
just, having learned something at the last select board meeting, I'm just checking. We have 3 members of the finance committee, which is not a quorum.
Oh,
If that changes, we need to be careful. There has been open meeting law violation filed against the personnel board and against the finance committee for the select board meeting that was held the other day, last Thursday. Was it Thursday?
No, I think it was the week
No, it
before.
was the one before. It was the 30th.
Right.
Yeah. So an unexpected item, Peg, I don't know if I didn't get it forward to you, but we have the open meeting law violation and
No,
I will get, you
okay,
have that.
I have that. I got something, I think yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
I just saw it. So
And
can we put that on the agenda for now, or how do we deal with that?
well, because it has to be dealt with before the next, you have to respond in 10 days,
Mhm.
business days. So this is unanticipated and you want to get a response back to the AG's office. So you
So
need to write a letter. And I've drafted something that we can review um,
okay,
tonight, and then you can make changes, or you can have your discussion, and then I'll change the letter, and then you can review it after you have your discussion about what do you want to say. I believe that it was a violation. Um, Open meeting law has changed. It used to be if you're directing the conversation, like George had said, to the select board and not talking amongst yourselves, it was considered that you weren't deliberating. But at this point, it is a clear violation because it turned out there was a quorum of personnel board members at the meeting.
was George then no longer at that point in time on the personnel board? That's
Correct.
correct. So it was April, myself, and
I think
Kathy.
Kathy.
Nobody else. It's
I'm
weird.
not so. George might have
No,
been.
there is
I think it's dependent on when Kathy was appointed.
Kathy spoke as well. So it was Kathy,
Me.
me, Peck, but 3 is a quorum of the personnel board. You
Yeah.
don't need
Right.
4.
Oh,
Finance
Didn't
okay.
matter
committee,
which one of us it
7
was,
members.
whether it was Kathy or me who were appointed at that
So
point.
whatever we need to, I think it makes sense to talk about it, and whatever we need to make amends is
Right.
perfect. You know,
Okay, so how about we call this meeting to order? Okay, it is 6:33.
And I'm trying to figure out where Melissa is. I think she's on the
On the
Mass Pike.
highway.
She's,
She said she was gonna drive. Hi, Melissa.
is that Montague Road?
I think it's the highway.
Hi,
Sorry.
Yeah, is that Montague Road? You're funny, April.
I
Yeah,
am.
that's not Montague Road.
No, hi,
Semi
Melissa.
truck just passed her on Montague Road.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
Melissa, thank you for trying to join us. If you go in and out, we'll understand why.
She's trying to get her unmute, I bet.
Yeah,
Please be careful, Melissa.
Yeah, please be careful. It's nothing's worth it.
okay, so why don't we go ahead and,
There you,
I-70. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
I'm on 290.
ah,
Okay, well, we much appreciate your efforts to get in, to be here. That's great. Okay,
But
so,
it's really dangerous, so be careful.
yes.
I will.
Yeah.
Be careful and just listen, don't look. There's nothing to,
I'm not looking.
nothing to look at
I
here.
I do this all the time.
All right, okay. Well, first of all, let's go ahead and check out the minutes. Kathy sent me on the minutes from the July 18 meeting. Thank you, George. These were his
Turn
last.
left on Brookfield Street. Then turn left.
oh, I think we're picking up.
She's got on her map
Oh yeah,
system.
sorry. I have to turn Drive down. 1 mile. Then take
Okay.
exit 18. On right.
All
Towards
right.
Route 9. Yeah,
Okay,
it wants me to go to the Mass Pike. I'm not doing that.
I
Right.
wouldn't. No, it's a
Smart.
mess.
so Kathy sent one thing that she wanted to correct. It was a spelling error. Is there anything else? Did anybody have a chance to look over the minutes?
I did. And I
And-
did not touch that.
Okay, so do we approve the minutes of July 18? All in favor? Aye. Okay,
Stein, I. However, we've got to go on.
Salvador, I.
Make peace, O'Neill. I.
Ross, aye.
Keep waiting
Okay.
for this organized.
Okay, so moving on.
So Ann's not coming tonight?
I'm surprised that she's not here. I thought it was last week she couldn't make it. I know her brother is visiting, but I saw her on the road yesterday and I didn't mention that because when I was talking to her brother, but her brother's out visiting from California. So it may be that, you know, it just didn't work for her. But we have a quorum, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So why don't we get right to the appointment of the Personnel Board member to the Select Board? Did
I would
people?
like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to nominate Kathy Salvador as our representative from the Personnel Board.
I second that nomination. I think her, you know, her work in human not humanities, human relations. I think that's, Kathy, I think you would be great. Would you be willing to serve?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we've been called human resources, human relations, industrial relations, personnel, you name it.
But not humanities. I like human resources. Okay.
No, I think you're going to bring a professional eye, a real sense of all of your experience in your work. We're lucky to have you.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Before you before you vote, can I make a statement at some point?
Before we go, oh, yes.
Before you vote on this?
Oh, okay. I agree with April, everything she said. I think having you on board with your work history is great. So, all those, do we all agree that Kathy will be our representative?
Well, I would like to, in the discussion period, if I may speak.
Yes, yes, you may. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, first of all, working in human resources, Kathy, I give you a lot of credit. I've worked in business and I know human resources is a tough department. My boss used to say, they're neither human nor a resource. But that's not an insult to you. I'm just telling you, I'm sure you've heard things like that all the time. So I just wanted to remind everybody, and I want to iterate where I am on this thing because I've heard that there's been some complaining around town, and I've heard there's been some little politicalization of this, but the point I want to make is, we all heard that the contract wasn't completed as of the start of the new year. And I know for all of us that's a concern. And I just want to remind everybody, I'm going to be very objective in this conversation. I'm also always try to act professionally. I always act in the interest of the best interest of the town. And I just urge you, Kathy, to please, I know I'm sure you are thinking the same way, and you do business the same way. We need to think about what's best for the town. I've been volunteering on many committees over many years, and it's always what's best for the town and the people in the town. I mean, ultimately, that's it. But we also have to be respectful to the employees, and we have to be respectful to Becky, the town administrator in this case, and make sure that this is conducted objectively and fairly. We have different mechanisms for dealing with different things in the employee handbook and in our processes. And I just hope that, we can take the politics out of this, because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like there's a political buzz around this. And that's just not fair to Becky. And it's not going to help us accomplish the things we really need to accomplish. So I just want that in everyone's consciousness. And that's my statement.
Thank you. Thank you, George.
You're
Well
welcome.
taken. Several points well taken. Okay, so if Kathy is willing to accept that.
Yeah, what's our new alphabetical order? I'm confused. I'm used to Argonautas I. You're not on this. So I think is it Melissa? Are you the first in the alphabet now?
Maybe, but I'm going to abstain from this vote because I'm on the select board and on this thing.
Okay.
Because, so I'm abstaining.
Okay, and Anne's not here. She would be the first. So it would be Kathy, you want to vote?
Is it appropriate for me to vote?
You're allowed
Aye.
to vote for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you vote to accept?
I do.
The
Yes.
appointment to this contract negotiations for the town administrator. April?
And Stein, I. Yes.
And
Aye.
oh, Ross, I am before you, but whatever. Ross, I. Okay, so that is determined, and we will move forward with that. I guess we'll hear from the select board you will hear from the select board, Kathy, when contract negotiations come up. Moving on to the administrative secretary position. Becky, can you tell us about that?
So I have posted both the land use clerk and the admin secretary job on jobsinthevalley.com. And I have also submitted to the elementary school for their Road Town newsletter. So the Jobs in the Valley, as it says, has a lot of listings from different businesses, manufacturers up and down the valley, like Amherst advertises there, Northampton advertises there, Springfield, some other little towns. So I'm hopeful that I had 6 views, and I haven't had a response yet, but it's only been since, was it Monday or Friday? So I'm hopeful that we'll get somebody, we'll get a nibble through that, and hopefully we'll get somebody local through the Road Town News. And today, Kathy sent me numbers for the temp agencies. I didn't get a call into them yet, but I will be calling tomorrow and getting information about the cost and what Kathy says that we could either hire direct, do just temporary, or temp to hire. So talk to them and get their recommendation. I guess temp to hire is the most attractive to me, because my concern about a straight temp is it takes time to train people. Right. And that's why this approach is not my #1 choice, because, if they're just temporary and they cycle in and out, it'll be a toss-up of how much we can get done. But I'm really hopeful that we'll get somebody somehow between all these tracks. And the other one, I don't know what you guys think about what is that other jobs website? Um, oh, I get emails for it all the time.
You're
Indeed.
talking about the land use clerk? That-
No, I'm talking about both, but not, is it Indeed? Or
Indeed.
Indeed is one of them.
Indeed is one of them, yeah.
do you guys have any experience with that one or any others that you might think it's worth trying?
I do at work. We use it quite a bit to bring in usually office people.
Okay.
We did as well. We used Indeed a lot.
Oh, that's
So
good.
I'll check that out too. Let's see, the jobs in the valley was just to do 3 ads for 2 months. Well, it's only a month, I guess. Was $200. And that's my other concern. I really don't have a budget built for the, I have money in the classified ads that I think the accountant will let me use that, that money for this because it does the same thing as a classified ad. And when you think of it that way, that fee isn't that bad, but I'm sure Indeed has a fee as well. So anyway, that's my
And
report.
I don't know if there's a fee. I'm not at that level of posting positions. So
Okay.
Is LinkedIn ever used in this way? No,
I know
that's a good idea.
you know, I've never used it, but it's just something I know is out there. And I'm not sure even how LinkedIn works. Do we? But is that also worth looking at?
That's definitely an option. I could do it, log in and just post that there's an open position, post some details, and direct people to reach out to Becky.
Oh, that'd
Wow.
be great.
That will go to the people that I'm linked in with. So I can do that.
Oh, that'd be fabulous. You're probably linked in to more than anybody else.
Probably a lot of HR folks, I'm sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, great. Now, the land use clerk. At one point, didn't we think we had a land use clerk?
Yes, we had a land use clerk. He did 3 or 4 sets of minutes. So he's got them caught up a little bit. He didn't, he was not comfortable with the technology of the job.
Okay.
I unfortunately, when I asked him what his preference for computers, I told him that the current person was using a Mac. Was he comfortable? And he said, oh, he'd be fine. But I guess it was less intuitive for him than he thought. And unfortunately, there were some other events that made it difficult for him to continue, and that with that start, he stepped away pretty quickly.
Okay, so we will be advertising for that as well.
Yes, and I have advertised for both positions.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that. I didn't realize he was no longer working. Okay. Anything else that we need to talk about on this? I think that what we've been discussing is great. And Kathy, thank you for doing your link with Indeed, and
Sure.
Becky and all the sources you've been going to.
Oh.
Seems like, okay, so we're talking about jobs in the Valley, Roadtown News. Maybe are we going to go ahead with the temp agency? What do you think? Are we going to hold off on that or give it a try?
I'm gonna get all the information and see,
Okay.
maybe do an experiment. Because I also currently have Geneva, who has caught us up on all our minutes.
Wow.
She's helped, she's up to date on the minutes. And when I can get her back in the office, which might be a couple weeks, I'm hoping she can get us caught up on the on the PFAS letters. I mean, with her help, and so I have somebody temporarily who's knows the job. She's the person who left the job, Kathy. So she's agreed to jump in and do some hours on Fridays when she's
that's
available.
great.
So she's come in 4 hours on Friday and then taken the computer and the minutes home and gotten those done over the week.
Oh,
That's fabulous.
fantastic. It really
So
is.
I'm not sure. I think with the temperature, I still get all the information because it could be helpful.
Mhm. Okay.
See what the cost is and stuff.
Okay, anything else that we want to talk about on that point? I think,
Looks like Kathy has her hand up.
oh, well, you,
I wasn't sure how formal we have to be since we're such a small group, but
no, we are not formal. I just wanted to make sure that we had reviewed and discussed everything we needed to, but go ahead. Go ahead.
so Becky, the gal that's helping out now obviously knows the job better than anyone.
Right.
Have you asked her whether she might be aware of anyone who'd be interested?
Oh, that's a good point. I haven't. I will ask her.
Might be worth asking.
She's now working in the what is it? The Montague Town Hall.
Oh, okay.
So I can ask her.
Yeah, she's local, so she may know of someone who's looking for just that set of hours or that type of work. So
Yeah. She's
just a
from
thought.
she's actually lives in Deerfield,
Okay.
but it was her uncle that saw our
Yeah.
local ad.
Okay.
Right. That's right, Bruce.
One thing I want to get back to before we go to the fourth thing on the agenda. April there was a newspaper article that was forwarded to her, and she said, and in regards to the administrative,
Town administrator.
yeah, the administrative position.
Right.
And I went to I hit on it to read it, and my computer went bonkers. I mean, it was clicking and it sounded like it had little pieces of metal in it. So I shut it down and I got back to April and asked if she wouldn't mind just summarizing this for us.
Yeah, what I'm also thinking, this is a suggestion that's come from a community member, Susie Mosier, forwarded some articles, one from the Gazette, I think, and one from the Greenfield Recorder, just sort of pointing out that other towns are looking at, due to the complexity of the town administrator's job, creating a position not as a secretary, but as an assistant to the town administrator. But I'm thinking that, given that I think we should set that whole thing aside while
Okay.
the contract negotiations are going on, so it doesn't get tied up in any of the potential politics. I think it's something that we can certainly talk about. It's not urgent, but I mean, that's my thinking. And,
Okay.
I think it's, yeah, it seems like not a good time to be looking at that, given, the workload that Becky already has and the contract negotiation.
All righty. That sounds good. That
Yeah.
sounds good.
So that's one of those, put an earmark there.
All right. Okay. Yeah, well, it really shocked me. My computer's never done anything like that. And I thought, well,
Yeah,
it was weird.
It's these are articles available online through the Greenfield Recorder and the Gazette.
Yeah.
Just in looking at how other towns are handling turnover and looking at the complexity and all of that stuff.
Well, keep those handy.
I will.
And I got rid of them.
That's weird.
It was
That's
very
weird.
nice.
Yeah.
Mike heard it, and he's more computer wise than I am, and he said, "Turn that off." I mean, it sounded like there were little ball bearings flicking around.
Oh,
I heard that noise. It was bizarre. It was really bizarre. Anyway, moving on.
okay. Sorry about that.
Here we are talking about the personnel handbook, and someone's driving a car. So shall we go? Melissa, do you want to talk to that or not?
I'm in a little bit of traffic at the moment, so could we
Yeah.
come back to that? Okay.
Sure. Moving on, about the police and fire department chiefs, we have strong chiefs. And they are able to make appointments without the select board approval. And we were wondering, Becky was going to check with.
I'm sorry. What did you just say?
We're talking about the police and fire department chiefs being strong chiefs.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they can make appointments without select board approval.
Oh, I don't know why I have that. And they can make, why do I have that down there? I don't know. Anyway, Becky, I don't know why I have that.
So what is the item, the agenda item?
I have five. Item 5.
Let's see if I can you read it? I might be able to find it.
If you could just read what the item is.
Here's what I have, item 5, and I wrote it. I don't know why I put that down there like that. Both police and fire department chiefs are strong chiefs, and that they are able to make appointments. And then I had without the approval of the select board.
I remember saying that they had the right to interview, select, and then bring proposed candidates to the select board. And then Becky
that makes more sense.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and Becky, you were going to look into consultations with legal counsel to regarding, the legal implications of that and attached responsibilities.
I still haven't done that.
Okay, I mean, there's been other stuff going on
about that.
right? Yeah. Okay, so do you think you might be able, to look into that?
Yep.
Okay, I have no idea why I wrote that way.
Yeah, I'm curious. What is bringing this up at this time? Is it just a clarification?
Yeah,
clarification. It's just
Okay.
clarification. It's been sort of. For the last couple of months, I think it's just that we've been talking about police and fire departments in general. We have new chiefs, and we just thought maybe we should look into that. They can interview and make proposals to the select board. So if Becky can look into that, I think you were going to look into the legal stuff. You were going to talk to our about that.
Yeah,
okay.
call Brian.
Okay.
Labor Council, and just make sure we're not missing anything. We're doing everything correctly.
Good. Great. And future business, as always, because it's been busy, updated classification schedule and status of select board employee contract negotiations. So that's where we are with that. And then our future meetings, but I'm going to come, I'll let me run these by you before we come to Melissa, see how she's doing. It looks like she stopped in traffic.
Oh, it looks like she's frozen in traffic.
It's really slow.
She is, she's frozen.
Really slow.
She goes again. Okay.
There you are.
So let's go ahead to the future meetings, then we'll come back to Melissa. Does September 19th work for everybody? That's 3 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Thursday. And October 17th, looking at it. Okay.
Yeah, that could work. Yep.
Okay, that works. Okay, that's the 3rd Thursday of each month. Okay, Melissa, you're on.
Okay, so let me I didn't email it out. I didn't look over a draft. I was going to tell you I was going to read over the draft one more time and send it out. So let me do that before the next meeting, and then we can probably devote most of a meeting to just that thing,
Okay.
Well, maybe another future item would be, or maybe if we knew now, what department heads contracts are coming up this year so we can be prepared?
It's the police chiefs.
Just the police, not the fire?
No, he was appointed she was appointed at the end of June, and he was appointed in September of the following fiscal year.
Okay.
So who's coming up this year, Becky?
It's the police chief.
Okay. And do we have, I know we don't have any authority over it, but is there any closure on the teachers' negotiation?
Yes, they are almost, the agreement has been reached. There were small changes that signed off on this week. So we're anticipating a signed contract in another week or so. And it's being settled without, within.
Blood. Yeah, no blood, no, settled.
Or that,
I'm
or
sorry.
blood either. Yeah. So that was good.
So
Yeah.
also, would it make sense for us to talk about the open meeting law? What is required of us?
So basically, let me just see. What did I write? The person. Okay, so maybe I should just put this on screen. Okay, so this is my understand. I'll just put up what I have. So basically, well, how about we discuss it first and then I can tailor this. So basically the letter, here, I'll just put the letter up and then you can make changes to it. Where do I share? Share.
Don't look at this, Melissa. Keep driving.
I'm not looking.
Okay, can everybody see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, it's a letter to the person who complains, and then you send that letter to the AG's office, the open meeting law part. So basically, you identify the complainant, Amanda Alex. It's regarding an open meeting law complaint. Town of Shutesbury, Board of Personnel. We get these almost every week for the select board, it feels like, but it's really only 1 or 2 a month. Okay, so and then you list the date of violation. I probably should have put up her complaint first. Let me see. Wait a second. Because you guys haven't all seen her complaints, right?
I have.
You're the only one who has, right, Peg?
Mhm.
So if I can find it.
And while you're looking for it, George, you were at one point no longer on the select board. When you came to that meeting, were you on the FinCom and not on the select board at that point?
You mean
I wasn't on the
personnel
personnel board.
I'm sorry, on this, were you
Well,
still?
again, excuse me 1 second.
Okay. Because I can't remember do we know the date of the
Yeah,
select?
it looks like July 30th. Is that what it said?
It's July 30th.
Okay.
So
Was that long ago? Well,
Yep.
On July 30th, we were at a select board?
The select board meeting, because we were thinking of asking the select board to put a member of the personnel board
right.
on the negotiation committee for the town administrator position.
And also recommending that the FinCom do the same.
And recommending the FinCom do the same.
So April, myself, Susie, Mom, so I was on the personnel board at that point in time.
No, I think
No,
that
you were on the finance committee.
we're on the finance
And so
committee.
who's the fourth person from the finance committee there?
Susie.
April, me, Susie,
Kathy.
And me.
and Kathy. Right. Sorry, Kathy. That's right.
Okay.
So it's so we're double headers.
Yeah, we got to be careful. I mean, it won't be an issue for me in personnel board anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah.
It could come up. That's why I counted at the meeting. I was like, oh, are we doing
It's
it?
something to be alert to, that's all.
Yeah, I'm
Everybody's got to
so
pay.
sorry that happened. It
Yeah,
was
me too.
totally unintentional. It didn't, anyway.
Well, this is how we learn things, and we do better next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Kat, yeah. So
I'm sorry, I'm not finding though.
So AJ,
So I'll just, how about I read it to you? I apologize, but
okay.
here's her complaint. So the description of the alleged violation is, I contend that the Shutesbury Personnel Board violated the open meeting law when a quorum of the board attended a posted hybrid meeting of the Shutesbury Select Board on July 30th, 2024, and deliberated outside of a properly posted meeting regarding the agenda item. And the agenda item is in quotes, Personnel Board recommendation, PA contract. Since this agenda item was requested by the Personnel Board, it should have been anticipated that a majority of the members would be present. During that meeting, members of the Personnel Board discussed matters within their jurisdiction that were not previously discussed. I don't know why this has to do with anything. Discussed at the July 18th personnel meeting, at which the vote was taken to make a recommendation to the Select Board. Members in physical attendance sat near each other and spoke as board members, not as members of the general public. They often spoke without being recognized and identifying as personnel board members, and occasionally concurred with opinions voiced by fellow board members. This behavior continued despite procedural concerns voiced by a member of the public and a request by the Select Board that speakers identify themselves. So that's her complaint. And then the last box is, what action do you want the public body to take in response to your complaint? And she writes, I want the Shutesbury Personnel Board to post meeting notices whenever there is a reasonable expectation that a quorum will attend the posted meeting of another public body, and or when a joint meeting is anticipated, and to record, approve, and publish meeting minutes accordingly.
Okay.
it's reasonable.
Yeah.
The only thing I would say is, and you know, at that point I was on a member of the personnel board, but I didn't realize that April and Peg were going to be there. I guess I might have known that. I don't know if I knew it was going to be there.
But I was in the room, George, so that could have triggered the because I wear both hats, select board and personnel board.
Right. Well, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be
Live
there
and
either.
learn.
We just talked about it was going to happen, and it wasn't a planned event.
No,
Personnel
it
board.
was unfortunate.
But it is
you know.
something to think about, especially, you know, for me on the finance committee, because we do end up with the select board many times, and we really do need to be.
Mhm.
So I guess when in doubt, just post the meeting. And if you don't have a quorum, you don't have a quorum. It's better to go that way than the other, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
But I do have to say that they didn't have time to post a meeting on this one, because it was, you know, you guys didn't know you were on the agenda.
Well,
Right.
and if that's the case, and we know we want to be there to talk, then we just have to
No, the agenda item is going to be on there.
right, assign 3 people in the case of the finance committee,
Right,
2 people in
exactly.
the case of the personnel board.
Yeah, I think it just happened so fast. Those that really wanted to be there just showed up, and that happened. It wasn't a connived event.
No.
I will
There
say,
No, it wasn't intentional.
No malice.
Yeah, no malice.
No
One objection I have is I don't remember us speaking out without being recognized. Now, maybe that happened. I mean, that was part of
that might have been me. You know, I can be known to do that.
Well, I think we all do. We have something on our mind, we want to speak, and we forget. And especially because I don't attend that many select board meetings. I watch their videos of their meetings periodically and try to look at their agenda. But yeah, don't always attend the meetings.
Well, and I think for me, what was unusual was being in the room, like getting used to the Zoom format.
Right.
You raise your hand, and here we were in close proximity. You know, we all know each other.
Yeah, we have a comfort level with each other where we just can do that, right?
Yes.
So,
and when you're in the audience, you're not aware of the screen of a bazillion people behind you.
Especially because it's behind us.
yeah.
Like for the select board, they're facing it.
Setup.
Yeah, the select board's very much aware of it, but it was all to our backs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on a different setup, so it's a little bit more cohesive.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate, but I'm sure I spoke without being recognized. I will own that.
Okay. You can take
Everybody
the blame on
recognizes.
that
Don't
one,
worry about
April.
that.
So what are the steps we need to do now, Becky?
Okay, so we just have to respond in the letter and basically say sorry. So
Oh, so that's what you would
summary,
put up.
in summary, you allege the Personnel Board violated the open meeting law on July 30th, not June 30th, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
July 30th.
On July 30th by attending the Select Board meeting to respond to an item regarding the Personnel Board. Personnel Board recommendation TA contract. The agenda item, we don't need that. That was, the Personnel Board was not aware about the posting of the Select Board agenda in time to post their own agenda.
Okay.
The Personnel Board Chair alerted the other members of the Personnel Board that the Personnel Board was on the Select Board agenda. 4 members of the Personnel Board attended the Select Board meeting. This was not intentional. I just added that after Peg said it. The members were not aware that they should have posted a separate Personnel Board agenda to participate in the discussion of the topic.
Becky, back up and say that the after unintentional, that the board members were unaware that the other members would attend. I think it's important to have that in there, and then go with what you're just said.
Are you doing that now, Becky?
Yeah.
Oh, and I think I keep getting back to this. I think there were 3. It was Kathy, April, and me. George was on the FinCom at that
But
point.
Melissa
But Melissa is a member.
That's right. That's right. Sorry.
But 3 is already too many.
Yeah.
Too many hats, Melissa. Too many hats.
So really it would have been, either the Personnel Board could have requested it to be postponed if we figured all this out in advance. Or they could have just sent 1 additional member. That way it would have been less than 3.
Yeah.
That okay. The board members were unaware that most of the other board members were going to attend.
Right. We were unaware of the attendance of the other members.
Yeah.
I might lose you here because I'm now off the highway. I don't know how long Verizon will hold me.
Well, we appreciate you being with us, Melissa.
Well, I appreciate the company for driving.
Make the time pass.
We
With
can
a new
see it
radio.
live.
Oh, there you are. I know where you are.
Yeah.
I don't know where
she's on 202.
Yep.
Anyway.
I don't go to Mass Pike. I always go 202 and lock myself down. It's just easier to do Route 2.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I would do it too. So how are you doing on that, Becky?
Okay, so this is Melissa's sentence. The board members were unaware so many
of the attendance, to shorten it, of the attendance of the other members.
Okay, I'm going to start over and read it. The board members were unaware that so many members of the Personnel Board would attend, creating a quorum. Oh, that doesn't work either.
Yeah, I just,
so
if you go,
other members.
Just say that there was, the board members were unaware of the other board members' attendance, creating a quorum.
Right.
Of the other
board
members of the Personnel Board would attend, creating a quorum.
Yes.
And then I
and they
have
messed up.
the members were not aware that they needed to post a separate personnel board agenda to participate in the discussion of the topic they had requested the select board to address. Complicating the problem, the personnel board could not have legally posted their agenda in time.
Posted the meeting, yeah.
Oh, if that's not, you guys can't see it, right?
No.
No.
Sorry, I forgot it was not. Sorry, that's probably why the sentence took so long, because I was waiting for feedback and I wasn't getting it, except from Melissa, who can't look.
Yeah, go by memory.
Yeah, you still have that. Okay.
So there's a sentence that hasn't been, I don't know if you've gotten to it yet, Becky, the paragraph that starts with the personnel board of the town of Shutesbury now understands.
Yeah.
The last sentence needs to be finished.
Yes. I wanted the select board to, so let's move on to that paragraph. The personnel board of the town of Shutesbury now understands that they must be sure to post a personnel board meeting agenda, even if they are listed on another board's agenda. A violation of the open meeting law occurred. The personnel board will be certain to always post meetings, even when they meet with other communities in the future.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody.
In
Okay.
conclusion, the personnel board believes your complaint is a violation of open meeting law and will do their best not to let it happen again. We hope that this addresses your concerns.
And believes your complaint is a violation. Right up above there. In conclusion, the personnel board believes your complaint is a.
Oh, yeah. There.
Can I read? I want to read the second paragraph again.
Okay.
In summary, you allege that the personnel board violated the open meeting law on July 30th, 2024 by attending a select board meeting to respond to an item regarding the personnel board. Personnel board recommendation, TA contract. The personnel board was not aware about the posting of the select board agenda in time to post their own agenda. Personnel board chair alerted the other members of the personnel board that the personnel board was on the select board agenda for Tuesday. 4 members of the personnel board agenda. Oh, it's
Attended.
4 members of a town. Okay. So was it 4 or was it 3? Oh no, Melissa, that's
Was
right.
4, right.
That was
Okay, I got that. I just, never mind. This was not intentional. Okay, got it. I just wanted to read that again. I just thinking of Melissa sitting up on the select board. You weren't part of the personnel board then.
Yeah,
Right.
in that case, like I wear the select board hat more
Yes.
than the personnel board hat, but being in the room checks both boxes.
Yeah.
So I'm new to all of this. So had we understood what was required by the open meeting law in that instance, and had we posted our own agenda, what would that look like on the meeting calendars? It would just be.
It would have just been a single line item with the personnel board recommendation to TA contract presented at select board meeting.
Okay, and that would have covered us with regard to this. Okay, does this happen a lot? that we get complaints like this?
The
The
select
select,
board does get a lot of filed complaints, which we answer. We've
Okay.
received a lot in the last couple of years.
Okay.
3 years.
Kathy, to respond, as far as personnel board, this is the first time it's happened
Yeah.
since I've been on.
Okay.
Yeah, me as well.
I think
And,
it's the first time for me too. Yeah.
and the finance committee also got the same complaint for mostly the same people. The trade-off, it wasn't Melissa, it was Susie Mosier making the quorum for FinCom.
And me.
So, yeah, and they've gotten open meeting law complaints before and public record complaints, but not in a number of years. So mostly it's just the select board gets them.
So I want you to say down at the bottom, P.S. We do our best.
You could put in there that we are, we are mostly volunteers, and some things are unintentionally missed.
Yes, yes, we do our best.
Well, the sort of the underlying thing is what would have been different if we had posted that meeting. I mean,
I think that's what I was trying to understand. What difference would it have made in the grand scheme? It's a technicality, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it's the law.
If someone regularly followed personnel board meetings, they would have missed it.
Oh, okay.
They wouldn't.
Oh, that's true, Becky. Yeah.
I think that's the governmental view, is you want to inform the public, and we failed to inform the public directly. So they would have had to read the select board agenda, and personnel issues aren't always on the select board agenda. So they wouldn't have known our personnel board agenda. That's
okay.
So we'll just do our best.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There was no malice.
So do I need to come up and sign that?
Yeah. Do you guys want everybody's name or just Peg's on here?
I think it might be a good idea to have everyone's name on and show
commitment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peg, somebody's got their hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to help you out with one more typo, please.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hi, Melissa. In the sentence that Melissa suggested, I think you want the word that after the word unaware and not the word of. And you might want a comma after the word attend, but it was mostly the word of, would probably be that. They were unaware that the other members of the personnel board would attend, creating a quorum.
And I was trying to get that in there, but I couldn't find it.
You said it out loud, but I noticed when I read it, it wasn't there. And that was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
So, Tom, before you go, so it was that, was there a comma somewhere?
Maybe a comma at that sentence after the word attend. Attend, creating a quorum, but it's not as critical as the that.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Tom's becoming our town copywriter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Proofreader.
It helps to have multiple eyes on those documents. Definitely helps.
Absolutely.
It does.
All right, so I'll print this out for you guys to come and sign it.
Okay.
Oops. And great, thank you I'm glad there was a meeting right away, so we don't have to worry about this anymore.
Okay.
Because when you say my bad, then they usually agree. And then just do our best. And she shouldn't have reason to appeal it because we're doing what she asked to do. That's what they would do. So hopefully things will just move along and get back on track.
Yeah. Yes.
Peg, is that the last item?
I think that is the last item. Yes. Does anybody else have any suggestions for what we should be talking about next time on the, I'll make an agenda and, anything coming up and anybody's thoughts, anything?
Well, it sounds like Melissa is going to have the handbook ready.
Yeah, so that probably will take a good chunk.
Okay, so that's what we'll sort of focus on. And
yeah, and there could be something that pops up, who knows?
And do we have any idea when the Kathy will be attending the next meeting of the select board about the administrative secretary's position?
Not yet. I have to let the select board know who the two people that were chosen were.
Okay. And Kathy, thank you again for serving. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. You're welcome.
And I guess, but we should put, yeah, Ann Brigham. We'll have to, one of us may run into her in the woods and let her know, because I'm not sure if she's aware of any of this.
I run into her on the woods or on the road occasionally.
Okay,
so.
but if I'm with you, we're not talking about it.
Yeah.
Good point.
I'll just text her and ask her to just head up to town hall.
Right.
So
I'll explain it to her.
Okay. So Becky, your hours tomorrow are, I would like to do it tomorrow for myself. What are your hours tomorrow? Regular hours?
Like 9 to 5. I'll probably be in closer to 8, but I'm not. Sometimes I end up at the school or highway. So 9 o'clock you can count on.
Okay.
Would it be easier to put it? But anyway, yes. Okay.
So anything else we want to address tonight? I think that's all of our agenda. And we agree on the September and October meeting dates. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. So all in favor of closing the meeting? Ross, aye.
Salvador, aye.
Makepeace O'Neill, aye.
And Stein, aye.
I had to take a picture, Melissa, because people wouldn't believe it.
Okay. I do this a lot, so when we have calls and stuff, we have to travel to field offices, it's perfect because most of the time I just have to listen into those. I'm really only there to chime in occasionally. So it's like listening to a podcast as you're driving. You just have to make sure you don't look at the screen, right? So that's the only thing. You just have to ignore the screen.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So
Well,
we're your podcast.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
And
Well, better, it's interactive.
Okay. Be well.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Night. Thank you, everyone.